टॉफी डाल के कटी बेटा Afternoon. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Sir.
Uh, Please allow me for 2 3 minutes so as to control the echo in the system. Am I audible? प्लीज सभी अपने आप को म्यूट कीजिए प्लीज. प्लीज आप अपने आप को म्यूट कीजिए.
पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. आप ट्राई करना. ये आवाज कम करो. ये तो लग रहा है पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. देखो कल मैं अपना
क्या
वो आ गया वहाँ से.
क्या
उनसे तो कम मांगा है, मेरे से ज्यादा मांगा है. 97, 98, 99 3 साल की और 2005 की
है तो
आ गया रिप्लाई. ये चाहिए तो की सैलरी स्लिप्स पे। अब इसको स्कैन करना है।
मेरी चाहिए।
स्कैन क्या फोटो ही क्या क्या
आएगा ना रिस्पॉन्स, सही से लिखोगे तो आएगा।
तो ये भी एक्स्ट्रा ही तो है। खरीद लिया उसने। क्या प्राइवेट है? उसकी बिल्डिंग में तीन छह फ्लैट ठीक है ना, अभी तो ऐसे का बातें किए उसका भाई उसको नहीं हुआ ना आंटी।
Good evening to all of you. I think there is a perfect audibility. Student may reply in chat box.
उनकी आएगी यहाँ नहीं जाएंगे तो यहाँ।
विशाल सर, मैं ना कंटेंट शेयर कर रहा हूँ अपनी एक फाइल, तो इट्स नॉट शोइंग हाउ टू शेयर। मैं इस टाइम प्रेजेंटेड हूँ। यस, माइक ऑफ शो कर रहा है, कैमरा भी उसी के साथ शेयर कंटेंट। हाँ, वो नहीं होता उससे। उसी पे क्लिक किया मैंने, शेयर कंटेंट पे। हाँ, यस सर, यस सर, यस सर, इट्स नॉट। थैंक यू वेरी मच। paragraphs, those are and write it. Snap में problem हो रही है. Extremely sorry on my part to being late due to some technical issue, and potentially in future we not face such type of difficulties. Right. Then ये marker fit नहीं कर रहा technical support. ये मेरा pen, ये मेरी screen पे problem दे रहा है. Screen पे tablet पे जो मैं लिखूँ तो यहाँ आना चाहिए. तो कहाँ तो ये pen क्यों नहीं show कर रहा है? Student issue होता है ना. I used to write this. Uh, Good evening, all of the student. I am taking your subject, business valuation. विशाल सर सर प्रॉब्लम ये आ रही है ये ना टैबलेट से मैं जो भी लिखता हूँ ना दिस इज माय टैबलेट और दिस इज माय ई whatever I write it share to every viewer. So there is some control with you which is not enabling me to do so. This is my laptop. I am connected with laptop and this is my tablet. मैं यहाँ कुछ भी लिखता हूँ तो वो यहाँ शो करता है लेकिन कहीं मतलब this is some technical problem on I think application. तो उसमें नहीं आते यस सर वो फिर डिसेबल हो गया फंक्शन पीछे से नहीं इफ आई एम रनिंग विद गूगल ना तो वो सारा शो कर रहा है यही इशू है हाँ हाँ right. तो मैं एक बार और करता हूँ ट्राई हाँ जी राइट 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 ठीक है राइट राइट Okay, good evening to all of you. Let's start our session due to some technical problem. I can't share with ePen. And let's we start with the introduction. There is section A, which is conceptual framework of performance management. Section A, we have 4 chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, which cover 50% of syllabus. And in chapter first, we have to discuss conceptual framework of performance management, performance evaluation and improvement tool is chapter number second. And in chapter number third, we have to consider economic efficiency of firm, impact analysis on the performance. What it mean? Objective of the firm, right? Example, maximization of profit, minimization of cost in different market structure, like perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition. And in chapter number 4, we have enterprise risk management, where we have Altman model and Baumol model regarding how we measure risk, how we manage risk. Statistically talking about the risk mean standard deviation of returns. In section B, we talk about the valuation basis of a business, that is business valuation basics. And chapter number 6 in section B related to valuation in merger and acquisition. For example, we come across so many situations where the merger is to play, like Tata acquired Jaguar. There are nowadays during the COVID period, Reliance company acquired some of the business like Future Group. So how the firms, firm A, for example, value the another firm, look into the merger or acquisition possibility by checking out the profitability of the business. In chapter number 7, fair value in accounting measurement took place. Fair value in accounting measurement, something it is related with the accounting standard if you already learned about. And in chapter number 8, we talk about valuation of intangibles. What do you mean by intangibles? Especially we take the case of goodwill, but not only goodwill, patent right, copyright, we will discuss in chapter number 8. This is a little brief about section A and section B. I want to start with section A to discuss the little about the conceptual understanding of your syllabus. So you can come across these are very important topic for a CMA. If you are looking into be a competitive CMA in any organization, so you have to come across different conceptuality regarding the performance management. Let's we talk about chapter number first, how beautifully institute design the syllabus or the content of your study material. We start about first topic, section A, and section A, chapter first, performance management. Performance management, what do you mean by the concept and component? And what is PPE? Performance management concept and component, it means how you measure the performance of the organization. If the criteria is sales maximization, then you may look after the revenue from the different product. If objective is profit maximization and the company is having 3 or 4 products, then you will check out the profitability of each. If your objective is overall business, then you look at gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, or if your objective is management of liquidity, you may look after current ratio, quick ratio, and different model involvement. And in chapter number A or chapter first section A, second topic come performance, productivity, and efficiency. Any one of you can easily define what do you mean by productivity. Any one of you can easily define productivity. Productivity is the ratio of output to input that you already come across so many times. And several times when you talk about productivity is a ratio that how much output from a worker you receive divided by the input. For example, if Mr. A is working in your company and he produces 200 units during a time of 8 hours, then his productivity is 200 divided by 8. That is, it will work out near about 25 units per hour. Right. Then we talk about efficiency. Efficiency, what do you mean by efficiency? There is two words,
Not visible.
efficiency. Efficiency may be technical efficiency, efficiency may be economical efficiency. When we talk about technical efficiency, we mean that whatever the technology we have is advanced enough to beat your competitor in the market. When you talk about the economic efficiency, we mean we are competitive in the market as well. That means our product is low cost as well as quality. So you may ask me, sir, how it is possible that a product should be economical as well and it is quality wise it is good. So quality purpose we will go for chapter number 2nd. But as far as our efficiency,
Sir,
one, yes. Right. I come across. Right. Am I right now, sir? From my side, screen is visible, I think so. Please, you can reply in chat box. Otherwise, I carry on. Yes, it's visible. Right, it's visible. Thank you very much. When we talk about efficiency, I repeat, there is technical efficiency, there is economical efficiency. Perhaps we sometimes face problem in technical efficiency, like in the first class today of system. But as we eventually make habit of this, there is no problem in future will turn up. A lot of audience at the same time without any hurdle regarding the physical movement from one place to another. It is live example during the COVID period that physical absence mean technical presence somewhere. So being a CMA or future CMA, you will not consider a situation that there is a COVID, so we have to sit at home and the business will be shut down. You look at the GDP data, it's just shrinking down, but it's not a long-term phenomenon. Eventually, by the adaptation of technical efficiency, we come across this situation. And when we talk about economical efficiency, we mean we have to produce our product at minimum cost. And in chapter first, when we discuss financial performance analysis, in financial performance analysis, what we have to consider, In financial performance analysis, we have to consider short-term as well as long-term for financial performance of organization. For example, when we talk about short-term financial performance, we look at gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, and it is a ratio of or as a percentage of net sales. When we talk about long-term financial, we will talk about ROI. Might be some of you heard of ROI. Some of you maybe heard of ROE, ROCE. ROE stand for the return on equity. ROCE stand for the return on capital employed. There is a difference that we will discuss when the discussion will take place in detail. Potentially in the next class, we will start of discussion these 3 or 4 topics in detail. When we talk about supply chain management, what do you mean by supply chain management? Supply chain management is a little related to logistic management, and this is during the COVID time period a potential growth area whereby we talk about how the product from the origin will reach to the consumer, right? In supply chain management, you may consider example of Flipkart, Amazon, eBay, Metra.com. These are in the process of supply chain management where the time of reaching the product from the originator to the final consumer is supposed to be minimized. When we talk about CRM, any one of you may be related to customer relationship management. Some of you get calls. I'm not talking about calls that is related to take loans. I'm supposed to give you example like you purchase some cars. Say for example, you have purchased one of the Tata Motor car, say Harrier, and you used to get calls that there is a service due. Sir, we have a facility of picking up your car from your home, get it serviced, and give it back to you. Now, lot of company like Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, Ford, etc., they are coming in the area of CRM, especially in process of CRM management. We look at those customers which are more profitable. So when we talk about CRM, we go for the CPA. What do you mean by CPA? Those customer relationship management which giving you more profitable. Sometimes some customer give you another customer, that is referral customer. So in this area we discuss CRM, what is CRM and how such customers can be evaluated on the ground of profitability. After finishing chapter 1 that we will take place in second class, we will definitely go for the second chapter, but I want to give you a little overview of balanced scorecard, BSC. Different a matrix is prepared of different type, vertical and horizontal, and situation is provided, and in particular situation how a employee perform. The performance of an employee will be valued on the balance scorecard. That is, for example, you go to a Reliance Fresh showroom and you visit on a very dimension like how many support you obtain from a Reliance Fresh person, and in a difficult situation like COVID area situation, and you rank them out of 1 to 7. Different situation is given and ranking of employees done. It is called balanced scorecard analysis by the preparation of a matrix that we'll discuss in future. And what is DuPont analysis? believe me, one of the topic definitely come. CMA Institute will definitely pay attention that these topics are very trendy and we must ask something from it. So be prepared for these topics very carefully. Viewpoint analysis is related to ROTA. ROTA stand for return on total asset. It is a type of ratio like ratio analysis, but it is a mixture ratio. It is return on total assets depend upon the profitability, depend upon the return of asset, and depend upon the return on investment that we will discuss in future in more detail. What is benchmarking Six Sigma process? What is benchmarking? Uh, I want to take an example over here. What is the most economical and most selling product in India related to mobile industry? Say for example, say Redmi, Note 8 or Note 9 is most selling product. The other industry also set some standards and consider the product of another and compare their own product with the product of other, right? Next one is Six Sigma. What do you mean by Six Sigma? It is a process of quality check that out of our total production, 3 in million may be defective while other are good. So Six Sigma process related to a process where the process may be a robotic process and the output of your process is all good. It is Six Sigma process. We prepare a normal distribution. We compare mean with standard deviation 1, 2, standard deviation 3, standard deviation 3 in the left direction, standard deviation 3 in the right direction. That means left 3 and right 3 total sum up 12 6. And standard deviation sign of standard deviation sign is sigma. That's why it is called Six Sigma process. The process is developed in Japan. We will discuss in future what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage of Six Sigma process, and how statistically we can control Six Sigma process. Then we have SQL. In SQL, we will prepare two type of diagram, mean diagram and proportion diagram. Mean diagram and proportion diagram, SQL. In SQL, there are two branches of analysis. One is average, one is proportion. That's why I said mean diagram. Second one is I'm saying proportion diagram. Then we have PDCA. Before you are doing something, prepare a good plan and start doing it. While doing it, check whether the whatever you are doing is according to your plans or not. If there is some correction required, immediately take some actions. It is called plan, to, check and action. Next we have MIS. It is very important, my students. Why it is very important? Because nowadays you used to get something in your life related with these process. What the process? You like some product on Amazon or search some product on Amazon. It will try to comment Facebook, or you like some product on Facebook and it starts showing product advertisement. That means MIS is an information system which which have a access to your likeness or dislikeness and thereby giving the advertisement of product. Next one is online analytical processing tool. What are the processing tool? It's related to softwares, maybe DBMS, RDBMS that we will discuss in future. Then we have MRP1, MRP2, and more advances entrepreneur resource planning, which we call as ERP. Thereafter, we have to go with productivity management and quality management. Total productivity management related to increase in the skill set of employee, and quality management related to how the quality of product can be enhanced so that you are most competitive in the market. I want to take example of Tata company again related to with production of AC. Tata have a one segment name is Voltas. If you consider the Voltas AC is economical and it is best competitive as well in the market. So Tata company did all the things related with the quality management. In chapter number 3rd, we will discuss economic efficiency of a firm, and thereby we will talk about performance analysis. In performance analysis, we will talk about maximization of profit under different market structure. When we talk about different market structure, what we mean? We mean 4 type of market structure. First one is perfect competition. Last one, monopoly. In between two extreme situation. Why I'm saying first one and last one? Because they are based on some assumption, and such assumption are very extreme situation. So first model is perfect competition model. Second model, third model, fourth model I said monopoly. And in between two extreme situation, monopolistic competition and oligopoly exists. So in first market structure we will discuss there are large number of buyer, large number of sellers. We will discuss deterministic model. Why I'm saying deterministic model? Because only in case of perfect competition and monopoly, you will find there is a determination of profit or price or output. That's why I'm saying these two model are deterministic model. While you check about oligopoly, oligopoly is a situation of behavior model. Oligopoly is a situation of behavior model. For example, if you consider price of Coke decrease or Pepsi decrease, the Coke company also follow same trend to capture the customer which are going towards Pepsi. Maybe you heard of nowadays advertisement is running in which one actor is coming and saying Pepsi is now rupees 50 per 1.25 liter. So it provide a great threat to Coke company how to sustain their customers. So Coke company in future may launch such type of product to maintain their customer base. Otherwise, the customer will shift from the Coke company to Pepsi company. Next one, in oligopoly, we have Paul Sweezy model. Paul Sweezy model is sticky model. Why the price is almost fixed? That we will discuss in future when we will discuss economic efficiency. But one thing I want to most emphasize here, that when you discuss different market structure, must check what you are determining. You have to determine 3 things. First one is what is the price. Second thing, what is the output? And third, profit. While you have to reach at profit, you may be asked in question paper that what is revenue and cost? Because when you talk about profit maximization, before maximization of profit, there may be a maximization of revenue or minimization of cost. Then we have a matter factor, market factor, which are affecting prices decision. What are the factors? That is two forces, demand and supply. There are maybe some other factor as well, like season. But what are principal component? Demand and supply. Other component, price of competitive good, income situation, emergent situation in which you will not consider whatever the price is charged, you are ready to pay. And in fourth chapter is again very important, because definitely one Altman model or NCAMR model may be asked in examination. Despite all topics are important, but a few is very much important, which you have to practice several times. Despite 2 or 3 times, every topic required, but must pay attention to risk management, CRM, and corporate failure. Chapter number 4 is subdivided into 3 sections. First one, risk management. Now, what do you mean by risk? What do you mean by risk mapping, risk pooling, risk diversification, growing probabilities, loss distribution? I'm talking about this in a little brief. When I talk about risk management, what do you mean by risk management? That is minimization of probability that your returns are not deviated from your expected return. For example, I invested in some business, say 10 lakh rupees, and I expect that my monthly return will be near about 50,000. But I consider actual return are 40,000. So it is a risk that my expected return deviated from actual return. Right. There is a message. Am I provide mail? Yes, I will provide mail to concerned people, and he will mail to you. Definitely, I will talk about to authoritative person in this regard. Now, what is risk pooling? Risk pooling and risk diversification. I want to talk about these with risk mapping as well. What do you mean by risk mapping? Suppose you have a 3 or 4 segment in which you have to invest or making products. For example, I am taking investment. You are investing in 3 or 4 projects. For example, ITC company. ITC company is in hotel industry. They are in tobacco. They are in fashion. They are in stationery. So in different area, when the online teaching is coming, ITC company of stationery, register making, it's badly affected. At the same time, hotel industry, but consumer area like biscuits, FMCG sector, it is booming up. So what is risk mapping? What do you mean by map? Preparation of some ideal or geographical analysis regarding specific products, regarding specific area, risk involved. And what do you mean by risk diversification? For example, I used to invest in stock market. If I invest all money in one particular share, and that particular share maybe go up or go down, I may have lot of risk. But if I invest in a lot of share, say 10 share, 15 share, for example, some from banking, some from hotel, some from medical industry, some from cement industry, some from steel industry. So all my risk involved in a market will get diversified. Now, what do you mean by risk pooling? When large investment come, for example, take example of metro construction. It is huge investment required by the company engaged in the running metro, construction of tracks, arrangement of bogies, etc. If they go to a particular bank to finance such project, the bank resists. A single bank will not provide you land. So multiple financer may come together to finance it. It may be called as pooling. Right. Next one, we talk about CRM, how the corporate risk can be managed. It may be risk retention, that is reduction, value at risk, VAR, and especially attention is given to capital adequacy norms in banking industries that we have to discuss in detail. When we talk about corporate distress, must consider two model, Altman model and NCARM model. These models depend upon the JET score. Until and unless we go in detail, you cannot understand what do you mean by JET score, what do you mean by standard deviation, what do you mean by beta. That we will discuss in future. That we will discuss definitely in future. I'm coming to section B, a brief introduction of section B. Right. In section B, first topic will come valuation basics. There is a valuation business, types of value, what are corporate finance, what do you mean by business acquisition, whereby how you value a firm. Value of firm can be based on the valuation of fixed asset, can be based on the valuation of current asset, especially talking about how the valuation of stock, valuation of cash not required as well. Why not required? Because whatever in the cash, when you going to buy one business, we take as it is. Okay. And when we talk about what are the model used in business valuation, we have DCF technique. What do you mean by DCF technique? It is earning base, it is accounting base. When we talk about earning base, we talk about profitability. Free cash flow, FFF, free flow cash, or there are some cash which are subject to some charges that we will discuss in earning base valuation model. Then we talk about cash flow method. What do you mean by cash flow method? In finance at intro level, you have talked about cash flow, how we prepare cash flow statement, or while doing the capital budgeting, how we can calculate cash flows. That is, when the profit is given, first we subtract depreciation, then on PAT, that is profit after depreciation, we charge tax. After deducting tax from PAT, we add back depreciation to PAT, and that is called cash flow method. And how the discounting is done based on the discounting rate factor, we have to apply in valuation model. Thereafter, we have to done specifically valuation of assets as well as valuation of liability. Right? The valuation of assets should be scientific. It's not based like whatever the value is given in the balance sheet, we take as it is. We have to make some discounting factor adjustment. What is the net realizable value? Generally, when we talk about inventory or we talk about investment, cost price or market price, whichever is less, we used to take it. When we talk about valuation of intangible, especially goodwill, we have various methods. For example, super profit method, average profit method, hidden goodwill. Maybe hidden goodwill is very important because I observed a few attempts before. One question come from the valuation of goodwill and it is hidden method given. Then the valuation of human resources. Why valuation of human resources? That means some type of the employee, they are very fruitful in your organization and you want to retain them. During the COVID period, company does not retrench all the employee from the organization. A few may left, a few may retrench, but not all, because the company find if such human being, left the company will not turn up to be profitable venture in short duration. Then we have economic value added, market value added. We have EV analysis. What do you mean by EV analysis? EV analysis is a part where we compare the profit with respect to or adjust the profit with respect to opportunity cost of the resources that the owner have in the business. For example, if I have some building and I am doing my business in building, that is commercial building, so I may not require to pay rent, but at the same time whatever the profit I earn, I cannot easily justify that all the profits are due to my business. Maybe there is some rental part which I am not paying, that is imputed value of building that I have, and I apply such building in my own resources and not taking building on rent from any other person. That is called economic value added analysis. And what do you mean by market value analysis? When we talk about the market price, then it is called MVA. We talk about valuation of liability, especially creditors, especially bills payable. Because creditors and BP always stand at your door. In business, they always ring your door bell, pay their money as early as possible. And when we talk about valuation of merger and acquisition, this topic is excellent. Institute Design Chapter 8, Section B, very interesting topic and lot of example in given with very good clarity. You will not find any book all over the world. When we talk about swap ratio or purchase consideration, how a company is paying another company regarding when the company is going to buy another company. For example, Reliance company acquired Future Group. How much they will pay to the shareholder of Future Group? A question arises. A long year back ago, Reliance Petroleum was submerged or merged with the Reliance Industry. So Reliance Industry decided that 16 share in Reliance Petroleum will be equivalent to 1 share in the Reliance Industry, and they paid. That is, in this chapter, we will discuss how much shares of existing company will be given to acquiring company or acquired company. That is meaning of merger, acquisition and type. First topic, what do you mean by business merger? That is when two companies join together. It is called merger. Very live example, maybe at your home you will consider either Tata Sky is there or Dish TV is there or Videocon is there. These are entertainment dish antennas at your home. But consider a situation nowadays. What happened? Dish acquired Videocon, so all the asset of the Videocon company automatically become the assets of Dish company. It is an example of business merger and acquisition. What do you mean by type? It may be vertical, it may be horizontal, it may be conglomeration. What do you mean by vertical horizontal? That means suppose I am talking about vertical mergers. In such a case, when I purchase such industry which are in my backhand or which are in my forehand, example, if a production or a trader acquired business of producing company or trader acquired business of selling company, such as merger is called vertical merger. Now, what is conglomeration? Conglomeration acquisitions are those where one company acquired another company, but the business is not related with each other. For example, Tata acquired Jaguar. Tata company is in motor, Jaguar is in motor, it is vertical, but it is not conglomeration. What is conglomeration? Tata Motor come in the business of insurance like Tata AIG. So it is called conglomeration. Then we talk about application of valuation model for business merger and acquisition. Here we may discuss amalgamation, acquisition, accounting standard 14, how the purchase consideration is worked out, exchange ratio or swap. When we talk about exchange ratio means how many number of share of purchasing company is giving to selling company, so that shareholder of old company will become shareholder of new company. Those share who are not satisfied may be paid in cash. They may be paid in cash. And synergy benefits. What do you mean by synergy? I really appreciate some of the students may reply in chat books. Synergy mean this. Okay, synergy mean getting benefit due to location, or I can say 2 plus 2 more than 4 is called synergy benefit. So 2 plus 2 is a mathematical word. No, I am not talking about mathematical word. I am talking about synergy benefit. For example, if your business is located in SAS area, special economic zone, then you may have a benefit of transportation facility, insurance facility, business banking facility, getting loan easiness, labor access, staying of labor, transportation of goods, all the benefits or all the facilities located at a place. Then such benefits all are synergetic benefits. Then recognition of interest of various stakeholder. What do you mean by recognition of various stakeholder? What are stakeholder in the business? Government, owner himself, shareholders, managers, they are various stakeholder. Government have interest of taxation. Debtors are interested that the business continue so that their business is not get affected. Creditor creditor are interested that they should get their own payment. Worker are interested in your business due to their wages and salary, their livelihood. Shareholder shareholder are interested in your business so that they get some returns, dividend, right? And when we talk about owners, they want appreciation in their capital. That is, prices of share will increase in the stock market. Nowadays, when we talk about COVID period, lockdown come on 23rd of March 2020. And if you consider what are the share prices of Reliance Industry, it's shrinking around 875. Now you check today, the price of share is more than 2100. How it is possible? Due to various stakeholder, that is JioMart come, Facebook start invested money, a lot of business venture is coming in, Reliance Industry pocket. So these are the various stakeholder in company, and you will apply appropriate and scientific method of valuation. Next one is appropriate cost of capital for valuation. When we talk about cost of capital, you might be heard of cost of equity. Equity share mean owner of the business, preference shareholder. In case of liquidation or in case of dividend, they have a priority of get paid off, right? We talk about cost of capital. That means we have to discuss cost of equity, cost of retained earning, cost of preference share, cost of debt or debenture. Then after selection of appropriate cost of capital, we may calculate weighted average cost of capital. We may calculate appropriate cost of capital or weighted average cost of capital, weighted marginal cost of capital, depending upon the requirement of the business. Then in the last topic we will discuss impact of merger on the value of share. Uh, Maybe there is a problem in Cisco that one-to-one communication is not there, but I want to put some example. Put some example on the price of SBI share and price of Yes Bank. It is recent situation that SBI buys some stake in Yes Bank. So what happened? The price of Yes Bank shrinking around 12 rupees, 10 rupees. In fact, one day 7 rupees was the price of Yes Bank. At the same time, the price of SBI was near about 300 rupees. I'm just talking about 1 month, 2 month back. It is not a very much long back story. And when we talk about share price of Yes Bank, which was near about 7 or 8 rupees, and share price of SBI, which was near about 300 rupees, impact of merger, what merger will give them. Now consider, when in a situation, whenever the merger took place, statistically we observe that those share or those company which have a low share price generally it move up, and company those have high share price generally it will go move down. I'm not talking about specific case, right? We have to scientific research and detect what happened to share price after merger. But generally it happened that price of those company which are valued low and the price of those share value high, they move in the opposite direction. High share value move down, low share value move up. It generally happen in case of the merger. You may check example of SBI. It's not a case of merger, but it is a case of purchase of some stake by SBI in Yes Bank. And similar scenario took place in case of merger, right? So in valuation of merger, step one we do, we individually calculate the value of firm, say A. Then step two, we calculate value of firm B. Then what we calculate? We calculate the joint value of firm AB, right? This used to be happen. This is the entire introduction of our syllabus. If you allow me, I can start topic first from section A. सर आप हैं ना? अच्छा आप मैं कंटिन्यू करूँ ना, एक तक कोई इशू नहीं. राइट। बच्चों की रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है कि सर स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, सेक्शन बी से बोला है ना? हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है, थैंक यू। ओके, request is coming from section B. So give me a second. Right. Uh, I think all of the students from section B follow this syllabus of 2016. So I'm starting chapter 5, basis for valuation, introduction, principle, techniques, and role of the valuation. Right. Damodaran had defined valuation is not objective exercise. Valuation is not objective exercise, and any preconception and biases that analysts bring to the process will find their way into value. What it means? दामोदरन है कौन? सबसे पहले ये क्वेश्चन अराइज होता है कि ये स्टैन यूनिवर्सिटी के एक बहुत बड़े प्रोफेसर हैं। इनका मेन काम फाइनेंस से रिलेटेड है। तो ये फाइनेंस में अपनी काफी वेबसाइट भी रन करते हैं, दामोदरन के नाम से आप चेक कर सकते हैं। इन्होंने क्या क्या डिफाइन किया है वैल्यूएशन पे? वैल्यूएशन पे मैं इनकी बातों को कंक्रीट में बता रहा हूँ। व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय वैल्यू? वैल्यू इज नॉट अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टर्म। व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट वैल्यूएशन, we may have following situation in which valuation is took place. तो एक्चुरियल साइंस या सीएमए का रोल यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं अराइज होता है कि मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन में, आईपीओ में, आईपीओ में शेयर की वैल्यू क्या हो, इशू प्राइस। जब आप कोई बिजनेस परचेज कर रहे हैं तो स्वैप रेशियो क्या हो, माइनॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर का वैल्यूएशन क्या हो, अगर किसी एम्प्लॉय की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में डेथ हो रही है तो उसको कितना पे आउट करना चाहिए। इट इज द task of the valuation agent. When we talk about valuation, so there is a difference in price and value, right? Price mean what? It may refer to the outcome of the transaction where the demand and supply took place, and we have a settled price. But what do you mean by the value? Value is based on the assessment of intrinsic aspect. For example, a product may have a price during the COVID period, say 200 rupees. But in the situation of emergency, it may value more for you as compared to the price of the product. Right? Okay. Now, when we talk about the valuation, valuation is a process of assessing the worth of a product, assessing the value of an investment in a portfolio, right? Some fundamental aspect in portfolio will have to place, like What are the stock selection? For example, we talk about the case of equity share. When we talk about the valuation of equity share or selection of your portfolio, then what are the stock selection? Different stocks which are lying in your pocket, concluding market expectation, evaluating corporate मार्केट में प्रोडक्ट की एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है. फॉर एग्जांपल अभी हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से जो मेडिकल इंडस्ट्री में है उससे एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि कोविड की कोई ना कोई वैक्सीन एज अर्ली एज डिटेक्ट. द मूवमेंट that some tablet will get detected, the moment tablet will get detected, immediately the stock price will go up. Evaluating corporate event. What are the corporate event? That is purchasing or selling of some event. There is a sudden increase in the revenue, sudden decrease in the revenue, some government policy which may affect. Setting up opinion. What are the opinion of the shareholder in the market? Whether Nifty will go up, go down. Evaluation of business strategies. Nowadays, what Reliance Fresh is doing? Reliance Fresh is offering free home delivery. You may have a contact number of Reliance Fresh. Go purchase as much you can. They will take your mobile number, address, and give you home delivery. These are various aspects which are coming up. When we talk about business valuation, now in business valuation, we must talk about real value of business. We must talk about real value of business. What do you mean by real value? For example, if I say that price of a chair is 200 rupees and in an economy 100 chair is made. I take an hypothetical example that price of a chair is 200 rupees and in economy only 100 chair are made. Only 100 chair made. So could I say that GDP of an economy is 20,000? If the price of chair increases from 200 to 300 while the production remains same, only 100 chairs, then the GDP of economy will 30,000. Now a question arises whether the GDP of economy is really increased. No, because we have to consider the real term. Real term, the chair production is first year it is 100, second year is again 100. Only the price from 200 to 300 will not lead to increase in GDP. It is only monetary term. When we talk about valuation, we must pay attention to the valuation in real term as well. Right? When we talk about the stock market capitalization of the company, it may refer at market value added. What do you mean by market value added? For example, I want to take an example of A Limited. A Limited have outstanding share capital of 10,000 of 10 each. Then the value is 1 lakh rupees. And that 10 rupees share in the market is selling at rupees 150. Then 150 into 10,000, it will come out to be 1,50,000. It is market value addition. Market value addition is related to stock market prices of shares. Right? Now, a question arises. What does affect the market price of a company? A Limited having high productivity, the share price may be high. B Limited have a low productivity or low profitability, may have share price low. So could I say that if a market valuation is more, or market value added is more, then could I say that the productivity of such company may be higher. For instance, during this day, Reliance company share price is going up. Would I say the productivity of the Reliance company is better as compared to other company in the same segment? Yes, it may be a scenario. It may be a scenario, right? So, what are the purpose of valuation? What are the businesses valuation purpose? First one, अगर आपका कहीं कोई मर्जर करना है, एक्विजिशन करना है, लिवरेज बाय आउट करनी है, yes, there is a request, sir, can you provide it by in writing? Yes, I can do. I am having some tablet, but there is some technical issue. That why the class was late. In next class, I try to solve out these technical issue so that I start off writing, and whatever writing I am writing on my tablet, it will come on your screen. That I will consider in next class, but right now it is not possible. Right now, please listen to me carefully. We can discuss in next class what are the problem will took place. Okay. Uh, what are the purpose for the valuation of business? First, I already discussed about that. First topic is when you go for the merger and purchase, then you go for the valuation. You go for the valuation when there is a management by objective, there is a issue of IPO, ESOP. अभी किसी का IPO आया है these day? मार्च से एक आज शायद कोई IPO आया, मेरे को याद नहीं है, लेकिन अभी तक जितने भी IPO आने थे सब पेंडिंग में चले गए, राइट? IPO का मीनिंग क्या होता है? इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग. एक होता है FPO, फॉलो अप पब्लिक ऑफरिंग. IPO के अंदर कंपनी का शेयर प्राइस अगर 10 रुपीज है नॉमिनल वैल्यू, तो वो ऑफर प्राइस कुछ और देती है. When there is a different offer price, then what happen? We are required to do valuation. We have to check what is the share price of product, what is the what is the share price based on the net asset of the company. Why we require business valuation? We require business valuation for the purpose of court. When there is a bankruptcy, there is a dispute, there is some settlement required out. For example, I talk about Bandhan Bank. Bandhan Bank promoters sold out their all share at rupees 311 near about a month back. Because from court there is some order come that promoter are supposed to sell out their excess share which holding by them. So business valuation is required in case of court cases. For compliance of what? Related to tax issues, right? Valuation for planning. What planning? Estate planning, strategic planning, merger and acquisition. And what are the different approach involved valuation? First one, cash flow approach. Consider from here, this para is important. I am giving a brief overview what are the approaches required in business valuation. First one is cash flow approach, future earning approach. When you have to check future earning, how you can check future earning? P&L account तो बना नहीं है अभी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको L&T कंपनी या BHEL कंपनी या BEL कंपनी की देखनी है. कोविड टाइम पीरियड में BEL कंपनी को आया कि मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनाओ आप, तो कंपनी की ऑर्डर बुक इमीडिएटली आप चली गई होगी. आर यू गेटिंग मी? फॉर एग्जाम्पल टाटा स्टील, भूषण कंपनी, इन कंपनीज को सिम्टम्स मिले कि इकोनॉमी में मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बनाने हैं, राइट? तो मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनाने के लिए स्टील की जरूरत है. जहां बेड बनने हैं वो टेम्परेरी सॉल्यूशन आ सकते हैं, बट लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्यूशन के लिए क्या डिमांड इंक्रीज हुई स्टील की? यस. In such a scenario, we have future earning approach for the valuation of business. And how we can calculate future earnings? We can check order book. What is the order book of company? There may be some other measure available. Discounting approach, capital busting में जो आपने करी थी, that approach may apply, but what is most suitable approach? Cash flow approach, future earning approach, depending upon the book value or sale price. Okay. Next one is, आप ये जो वैल्यूएशन कर रहे हैं ये किसके लिए कर रहे हैं? Stakeholder of the valuation. First one, I already talked about stakeholder. That means what are the interesting parties which may get affected by valuation. If the valuation is improper, most sufferer party are shareholder. They provide their capital to business, and if wrong valuation is done, all their wealth will be lost. Next one is company itself. Company itself, that is, when a company is supposed to take over another company, when a company is supposed to take another company and there is a wrong valuation, there may be overpayment. Financial expert, the image of financial expert depending upon the how they are efficient in the valuation. Valuation task is done by the actuarial science. CMA Institute have a tie-up with the Actuarial Science Institute, and it is very great achievement. Please check on the website of the Actuarial Science as well and CMA Institute. Our CMA Institute president is provided this opportunity to CMA student. Earlier there is a yardstick, very hurdle that CMA student find very difficult the task of actuarial. Okay, financial expert, buyer of the property. If the valuation is excessive, the buyer may be face very difficulty. Banks and other, because when the banks are lending to you, they will check financial reports. Financial report duly signed or stamped by the actuarials or some of the CMAs, depending upon the nature of financial property. Mutual fund, hedge, private equity, venture capitals, they all are invested regarding the valuation purpose. Well, म्यूचुअल फंड्स का आप ग्रुप 3 में काम पढ़ के आए होंगे ये कि हाउ वी कैन वैल्यूएशन ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड. हेजिंग भी पढ़ के आओगे, या तो एसएफएम में हेज फंड आपने पढ़ा होगा. प्राइवेट इक्विटी प्लेयर्स एंड वेंचर कैपिटल्स क्या होते हैं? Those people who are providing the private capital or initial capital to business, they are called venture capitalists. Insurance company, insurance companies mitigation of your risk. When you get your company or when you get your company's building insured, what the insurance company is doing? The insurance company is minimizing the risk. Minimization of risk related with the sudden loss of to plant and machine in your company. So proper valuation is required so that the insurance company don't go for the valuation again and again when computation of risk involved. Government, why the government is involved? Government has a task of providing subsidies or taxes, right? Or sometimes the government may become co-investor with you. Earlier, state government used to invest in banking business like Punjab National Bank, State Bank of Patiala. Now government is moving little back from these businesses, but sometimes it happen that government may lend some money to your business. That's why the government is very interesting in the valuation. Entire economy. Robust banking system is required for all the economy, right? That means uh, you already learn about that government bank is moving toward nationalization. You deposit money in one state, you can withdraw from third state, or there is a online payment in anywhere in India or abroad. So banking system is moving very quickly in this dynamic environment. Good valuation is required so that proper valuation of your business shares may be done correctly. So what are the interesting party? It may be buyer and seller, maybe lender, any intermediary, banks, mutual fund holders, hedge funds, insurance company, government, shareholder, etc. What are the key area of valuation? What are the key area of valuation? Right. The key area of valuation is valuation of equity share. Maybe sometime I will try to move toward little stock market. I will share my screen and show you the prices of some shares, how the equity share in market, how the secondary market, option, future, derivative, everywhere valuation is required. And SEBI also have some rule that they used to put off some upper circuit and lower circuit, and on a particular day they will not allow to move up or move down a specific share. For example, I take example of Tata Motor. They will not allow 20% up or 20% down, right? Private placement of equity share. What do you mean by private placement? When you are giving share to your existing shareholder, it is called private placement of equity share. Meanwhile, I also go for right. There is a query that idea share is more also move up 20% more than 20%. So that's why I'm saying there is a yardstick for different shares. It's not a hard and fast rule. SEBI fixed some limit. There is a upper cut by 20%, right? 20% से ऊपर नहीं जाने देते. Most likely the situation, right? अगर शेयर्स स्पेसिफिक लिमिट से पब्लिक के पास नहीं है, प्रमोटर्स को इतना ज्यादा शेयर अप एंड डाउन नहीं करने देता सेबी. So whenever we deal with specific share, we also check LC and UC. LC stand for the lower cut, UC stand for the upper cut. If a share of idea is say 10 rupees, maximum to maximum it can go up 12, down 8, maybe little further movement, but with the authorization of some authorities. Corporate restructuring and turnaround that you already learned while you have done internal reconstruction. Internal reconstruction, secured lending, including project financing, securitization and debt instrument. Basel III committee recommendation is related to banking sector. Portfolio management relating to mutual fund, hedge, professional investor like private equity, venture capitals and angels, right? And we talk about investment, what type of investment, long term, medium run, merger and acquisition, takeovers, disinvestment, venture capital, strategic investment, etc. You have a decision related to dividend. When you talk about dividend, you have different model, Modgilani and Miller model, Gordon model, Altman model, Fisher, Gordon model and Walter model, Altman model, Modgilani and Miller model. Then model we have to discuss when we talk about dividend decision. When we talk about borrowing decision, including keeping equity share as a collateral security, right? We also discuss court cases, tax authorities, valuation of financial reporting, equity research, forensic accounting. What do you mean by forensic accounting? When we start accounting with some suspect related to some specific issue, specific area, it may be called as forensic accounting. Dissolution of firm, partner buyout, admission, insurance product, property valuation, credit rating. What do you mean by credit rating? जब बिजनेस का वैल्यूएशन होता है तो डिफरेंट शेयर्स को, डिफरेंट डेब्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट को फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटेबिलिटी के बेस पे वेल रेटिंग मिलती है. रेटिंग देने वाली एजेंसी इंडिया में कौन कौन है? क्रिसिल, केयर, इकरा. They used to give rating like AAA, AA, triple B, double B, B, right? Depending upon the liquidity. Depending upon the liquidity, capital, financial performance, etc. That is, I'm talking about credit rating. Clear? Fairness and solvency opinion, right? Fairness and solvency opinion and charitable donation. आप इतना भी डोनेट ना करना पाए कि पता चल रहा है कि हाँ भाई कोई ना कोई विंडो ड्रेसिंग हो रही है या फंड्स इधर से उधर हो रहे हैं. रिसेंट केसेस में आपने देखा होगा सीबीआई ने कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या एरिया में क्या क्या सस्पेक्टेड केस निकाले हैं. दैट यू ऑलरेडी नो. आई थिंक इन नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल स्टार्ट फर्दर.
हेलो
Yes, yes, go ahead.
सर, नेक्स्ट क्लास में प्लीज कंटिन्यू करना विद रिटर्न सर, क्योंकि ऐसे ना बहुत ही ज्यादा मुश्किल हो रही है टू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स.
And then, am I allowed to on my camera?
यस
एक minute. I have this device, right? And I used to write with this one on this, and it will come on your screen. But difficulty I am facing, are you understand?
यस सर.
There is some technical problem, and we will discuss sort out in next class. Definitely in next class.
ओके सर.
Any doubt regarding session? Any student want to come up and say something? Am I allowed to wind up?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please, please.
The next class will be on business valuation or strategic planning.
Regarding this, you have a mail as well.
Mail is there, but it's it is not been clear from the mail
Right.
regarding
So,
they have given only
Mr.
the yeah.
Mr. Vishal is there.
Okay.
I talked to him, and my topic will be given to you very precisely via mail.
Okay.
Right? I discussed with him whatever the issue.
Okay. We have to mail him or we
I
can
will
talk
mail to
on.
him. I will mail to him.
Okay.
Right? He will provide some contact detail or email ID. He will definitely give you a detail regarding my classes. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Even
Vijay.
even we are facing that some of the classes only the ID has been given as lecture and password has not been given, so we are unable to join that class. That is the problem.
Vinith, this problem is coming hardly 1 or 2 classes. Right?
Okay. Okay.
I'm very I'm taking online classes on Google since last 6 months. I'm not
Okay.
facing any problem. But on Cisco, we are moving, right? So it will take hardly 1 day or 2 day, then automatically everything will clear. Because screen sharing, I am facing very problem. Screen sharing, my tablet sharing,
No,
whatever I write, it will
but
take
in Kisco, one thing is there, the clarity is very good in
excellent. It
comparison
is
to
very
others.
excellent.
That is there. Yes. Yeah.
No breakdown. The institute have taken a good step. It is paid platform. An excellent step is taken by institute. Any one of you have problem, or should we wind up session?
So, shall I mail on that student NRC on that same mail ID or some another mail ID?
Vinith, I am talking about this issue with Mr. Vishal. You
Okay.
don't worry about.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you.